Boxing truth here. Now that finally Andre Ward returned to the big platform HBO, it's been over 2 years since he's been featured on HBO. It's a funny day on boxing Twitter. The Ward fanboys are attacking, man. They're on the attack mode, dick riding, saying this great myth in boxing that Triple G ducked Ward has been ducking him for years. That he's scared to death of Andre Ward. Bunch of excuses. Golovkin's got the jitters. Nightmares of fighting Andre Ward. It's just a big myth being spread through the boxing world about Golovkin ducking Andre Ward. My question is to everybody that listens to this video: when the hell was Triple G supposed to fight Andre Ward? Like, seriously. There's never been any serious negotiations between Triple G and Andre Ward. There's never been any contracts drawn up between the two. There's never been any serious talks about them two fighting each other. You know why? It was because of the issues Andre Ward was going through for the past 5 years. Having injuries, litigation, and also the most important thing, not fighting, not gaining momentum for his career following the Super 6 tournament that he won 5 years ago. And in the meantime, Triple G was doing what a fighter's supposed to be doing: fighting, gaining momentum, building his brand, increasing his market value, selling out venues, creating an audience for him on HBO because he was constantly busy. In between the time Andre Ward was going what he was going through for the past 5 years. Since 2013, between the two fighters, Triple G and Andre Ward, Triple G has fought 10 times. 10 times on HBO since 2013. Ward has fought 3 times. 3 times since 2013. I mean, when were they supposed to fight? I hear this asinine statement that Triple G ducked Andre Ward for years. When were they supposed to fight? Triple G didn't become featured on HBO until September of 2012. That was his very first appearance on American premium network like HBO. No one outside the hardcore boxing fan knew who the hell Triple G was when he first started on HBO. And him and Andre Ward, they signed an HBO contract right around the same time, a multi-fight deal around 2012, because Ward fought the week after Triple G's debut on HBO. He fought Chad Dawson at 168 in his first appearance with the network following his Super 6 win. The plan was set in motion with Ward. He was going to start a new career with HBO, a network that has produced pay-per-view stars. And Triple G, they signed him to a deal the same year, and they pretty much was like, you know what? We got 2 potential great fighters, just a one division separating from each other, and we can build it to a big fight. Now, Triple G was one of the approved HBO opponents for Ward for his debut on HBO, just in case the first choice of HBO back, fell through, pulled out, or whatever. But it really made no sense. It didn't make much sense for them to fight back in 2012. There was no money in the fight. Both had not made their debuts on HBO, never been on the platform before. So it didn't make much sense to fight in 2012. You got both of them have to build an audience, have to be featured on the network multiple times. It'll just make the fight bigger. Have those guys create a big storyline between both guys as they keep fighting and keep winning, and then the fight gets bigger, it gets juicier. It makes it worthwhile for the promoters and all the principals involved. However, while Triple G did his part by staying active and gaining momentum, building an audience for his career, Andre Ward did the complete opposite. He got into litigation with his promoter by the summer of 2013, was suing Gusan, trying to get out of his contract that he signed a 5-year deal in 2011 with Gusan. So by 13, he was already trying to get out of the deal. While Andre Ward is undefeated as a professional in the ring, he was taking major L's in court to Joe Gusan Dan Gusan for trying to get out of the contract, because he had according to the reports and the stuff I read about the case, Ward had a very weak argument for trying to get out of the contract, and that's why it kept getting dismissed. It kept getting thrown out. It was just a very weak argument for trying to get out of the contract that still had years that he had to fulfill. So, while they were going through their beef, Dan Gusan offered Andre Ward a fight in 2013 against Edmund Rodriguez. Got paid pretty well for a showcase fight on HBO. Won the fight. And then the beef just got worse between them, and he sued him completely in 2014. Didn't fight at all in 2014. So while he wasn't fighting and having promotional problems, issues, Triple G he fought 4 times in 2013. He fought, I think, 3 times in 2014. And he was constantly building his audience, building up his brand, generating bigger and bigger gates at the box office. And Ward just wasn't fighting. He wasn't fulfilling his part in potentially building this great fight that could happen between them. Because he wasn't out there performing. Well, you're not out there performing, people forget about you. You become old news. You become, oh, what happened to that guy? The casual fan will say, oh, he was good, but I don't know what happened to him. They don't know what happened. I mean, not everybody follows boxing like hardcore fans do. We know what happened to him, but a casual fan does not. So that's the reason why the fight hasn't happened, because Ward's never been in a position to fight Golovkin. He's never been in a position to fight him. He hasn't been available, or he's been hurt, or he's not fighting. And Triple G is doing his job as a fighter. He's performing. He's creating a lot of momentum for himself. 20 consecutive knockouts. People are terrified in fighting him. The middleweight, bunch of 3 lineal champions ducked him. Straight ducked him. Didn't want to fight him. Want nothing to do with it. Always took the path of least resistance when it came to Triple G. And then finally in 2015, Ward gets his issues resolved, signs with Rock Nation. But from the jump, because of the time off, because of the layoff, Andre Ward knew he wasn't ready for an A-level type opponent. He wasn't ready to fight an elite fighter. So from the jump, he and his team stated they needed 2 or 3 tune-ups before they would take the fighters of the caliber of a Triple G or a Sergey Kovalev. So the truth is, Andre Ward didn't want to fight a Triple G type of opponent in 2015. I mean, the offer he made to Golovkin's team after he already signed to fight Lemieux was that he wanted 2 tune-ups two soft touches before he fights Golovkin. Now, Andre Ward, I'm pretty sure he would fight Triple G, but he wanted to shake the rust off first before he fought him, because he knows Triple G is a threat. He knows he's a hell of a fighter, a silver medalist. Andre Ward's an Olympic gold medalist. Triple G is silver medalist in the same games, different divisions. So he knows Triple G can box, he can fight. So that's why he wanted two tune-ups before he took on a fighter of Triple G's caliber. He didn't want to fight anybody, any A-level type of opponent last year. He wanted to shake off his rust, and that's what he's doing at the moment. He's still not 100% there yet in sharpness, and he's still not fully there. He had an okay performance, solid, but it wasn't his best performance. I was a little disappointed. He could have did way better than that. Could have got the knockout against Sully B. So you can't say nobody ducked anybody, because these guys, the logistics was just never there for them to fight. It was just not possible to happen at any point between 2012 to 2015. And the offer Ward made at the end of 2015, I mean, Golovkin was like, if you need two soft touches, do what you got to do. And when you're done with your soft touches, hit me up when you're ready to fight. Like, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm gonna focus on the middleweight division. There's 3 money fights for me there at the moment. I mean, there's 3 potential money fights there that can be made. When you ready to fight, hit a dude up. But Ward, he wanted to insist on a down the road type of deal, but a lot can change in a year. And also Triple G has, he has other options on the table. And besides, another issue is Andre Ward is not a super middleweight no more. He's not. His super middleweight days are done. It's over. He weighed 186 pounds on fight night. 10 pounds more than he weighed on fight night against Chad Dawson. His super middleweight days are done. And people are taking sides on Triple G and Ward, and it's an imaginary fight at the moment. It's not going to happen. The Ward fanboys have to move on. The fight's not going to happen right now. For a number of reasons. It was just never possible for it to be made, and it's just not a big enough money fight because of Ward's issues outside of the ring. The fight can be really, really big with what Ward hasn't set in stone for his plan at the moment. Instead of talking about this imaginary fight that's not going to happen for the time being, we should be talking about a potential matchup between him and Kovalev, because it's a great fight if they do fight, and if Ward can get back to the same type of level he was before. It'd be a tremendous fight. I mean, I'll be at the edge of my seat if Ward looks spectacular in his next fight, and everybody's like on the fence about who's going to win. It's going to be a great matchup. And that's another thing. Ward has a big ego. He does not want to be the B-side to Golovkin. He does not. He's trying everything he can to make it seem that, he's generating he's getting the same purses than Golovkin, but Golovkin's star is rising. He's getting some big purses now. High 7 figures. He made $2 million his last fight. Ward made $1.85 million against Sully B this past Saturday. And he was pissed because he had to give Sullivan Barrera a portion of his purse for Sullivan Barrera to take the fight, because there was no other options on the table. That was the only decent opponent that at the time of the negotiations for him to fight. A respectable opponent and someone HBO would be interested in airing. He was the best opponent they could find at the moment that they could get. Politics not in the way. And he had to pay him an extra $100,000 because the initial offer for Barrera was $350K, and then they gave him $100,000 more at $450K he made for the fight on Saturday against Andre Ward. So it just makes no sense to keep talking about this imaginary fight. No one's ducking anybody. It's just the fight just wasn't meant to happen between those years. Just, the shit Andre Ward was going through, putting his career on hold, promotional problems. But now he's back now, and he has a chance to regain the lost momentum he's lost by staying active this year and pursuing a fight with Sergey Kovalev. Imagine if Andre Ward trashes Kovalev and he fights him in November of 2016 and beats him. It will make him the number one pound-for-pound fighter on the sport. He'll be considered the best fighter in the world, because he beat one of the baddest mofos ever at light heavyweight all time, in Sergey Kovalev. Imagine how big that fight will be if Andre Ward beats Sergey Kovalev and Triple G beats Canelo. Imagine that. This is a fight I would love to see. Triple G and Andre Ward, don't get me wrong. But it has the potential to perhaps reach Mayweather Pacquiao level. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.